Live from NBC4 Columbus, this is NBC4 at 11, here for you.
There are nearly 2.5 million adults in U.S. prisons. That's the most in the world. Nearly 1 in 2 inmates reoffends, and many of those are sent right back. But in Ohio, there's a program to change those numbers in 3 prison buildings that bridge in between inmates and each other through a multi-faith 1-year dorm experience. Now, I first reported on this in its 2nd year back in 2002. Now, 12 years later, we went looking for answers. Has it worked?
I kind of saw the Muslims as a gang. I was part of a gang.
Stan Stever came to MCI at 18 in 1987 for killing a woman who surprised him as he burglarized her home. He tells me he would wake up in sweats in the middle of the night from guilt and was just trying to survive. 13 years later, Stan entered the first Horizon Interfaith dorm in late 2000. In January 2002, just months after the 9/11 attacks, I visited Horizon Class Number 2, Muslim, Jew, and Christian with their common root in Abraham of the Old Testament, living together and through group discussions and volunteer mentoring from the outside, learn to respect each other.
Learning more about them showed you the ignorance that you had within you. Are you guys ready to graduate?
Yeah, excited.
Yeah.
Now, 14 years after his Horizon Dorm experience, Stan leaves his tiny cell and returns to mentor first-timers, sharing a table and common interests like the prison garden.
Cabbage and tomatoes that are so huge, in fact, they have contests. You know,
got
to
the
see
biggest
who's got the biggest.
There's a place in the dorm for Muslims to pray, same for the Jewish members, and you'll find men from very different worlds sharing thoughts and insights.
Man, look at Psalm 23, verse 1.
Verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. I was prejudiced against everybody.
But James and Demetrius, as Bible study partners, say they've been changed by confronting who they were and what those not of their same faith can bring to their world.
Focus on the commonalities, you know, because others are well-versed and learned in different areas as well as me, so we can sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron.
Over 200 inmates have now graduated from the year-long Horizon program, heading back to the main population of 2,700 and having impact.
When everyone goes back out, we supposed to set example, and by us leading by example.
On any given day, we range from the 2nd highest population to the 3rd highest population, but historically have been at the lower end of prison violence.
The prison ranks 3rd least violent among the state's 26 prisons. Perhaps more impressive, nearly half of prison parolees nationally will return to prison. Though the rates are lower in Ohio, the rate for a Horizon Dorm graduate is less than 10%. It costs Ohio $26,000 a year to incarcerate each inmate. There's a strong taxpayer argument for the program that recently opened dorms in Chillicothe and London. Yet this year, the program lost funding from the Department of Corrections. Executive Director Jeff Hunsaker is not swayed.
We came to a position where this really is a program of the community, particularly the faith community, and they're the ones that have to step up now and support what we do.
These residents, some lifers, commit to face the reality that brought them here and commit to change. The Horizon Dorm, 14 years after opening, continues its mission of making future horizons brighter.
And if you stop and think about crime, crime is essentially a radical refusal to love.
It is a pretty impressive program. As I mentioned, they've now opened dorms at prisons in Chillicothe and London. They are always looking for volunteers to spend a couple hours a week with an inmate of similar faith. For information, go to NBC4i.com, click on news links in the red box to learn more about the Horizon Dorm.
And you got to wonder, is it difficult for them to go back into the prison population after they spend a year in this kind of a different environment?
Well, they do, and they said it is a challenge, but now they've built up a number of people that are out there that serve as kind of a fraternity, if you will, and they support each other even amongst the prison population, but they're having an impact prison-wide.
Yeah, it's an impressive program.